Four Star Farm began a little over 25 years ago here in Northfield, Massachusetts. And when Jacob and Nathan left the farm to explore the world, at some point they decided to come back with their families. The farm business needed to expand and diversify because now it was going to support 3 families. So they experimented with aquaculture and cultivating mushrooms, but what they've landed upon are hops and grains.
This is a little different than a vineyard. One is merely in scale. When you walk through a vineyard, there's usually anywhere from 4 to 5 foot high trellises. This trellis system is 20 feet high. In this 7 acres of hop yard, there's roughly 15 miles of aircraft cable above us that are holding up the hop vines. As you can see, they're a vine. They're actually called a bine because they're a cross between a briar and a vine. They have little hairs that allow them to climb up the coconut core string that we hang. To cut them, we cut the bottom off, and we can literally, provided the plant hasn't grown too tall, just pull hard and the whole plant will come down, string and all. We can load it on a trailer and take it to our harvesting center. At the harvesting center, we have a large machine that we imported from Germany. We put the whole bine through the machine, and it actually strips all the leaves and the hops off the bine, shreds the waste, puts it in the back of a trailer, cleans out the leaves from the hops, and puts them in trays ready for our drying. There are 2 large heaters and 2 large fans that blow the air in the bottom, and it moves up through the machine, through the oast, going through all of the hops and out the top. We're not recirculating any of the air because we want very dry, very warm air. And over the course of 8 to 12 hours, the hops will dry from 75% moisture down to about 8% moisture.
To brew a truly great local beer, you need a few ingredients to make that possible. First on the scene was the Northampton Brewery, which started 26 years ago and has been sourcing local ingredients for its food, for its diners for years and years and years. And they also brew their own beer, but it's only been recently that they could actually source locally the ingredients for all their varieties of beers.
Here at the Northampton Brewery, over the course of a year, we'll make 1,000 barrels of beer. And each barrel of beer is 31 gallons, and 31 gallons translates into 2 kegs, if you will. It's pretty cool when you think about it, when you're making beer and you realize that it was grown, could be within 10 miles of where you're standing. The hops are, 40 minutes away. That's something Northeastern brewers have never had a chance to really do in this century, to actually say that, and that's kind of cool.
We're using grains that grow well in this region. So we're malting unique grains like heirloom rye and heirloom wheats, things like buckwheat, spelt, and of course barley, which is the most important grain to malt because that is the base of every great beer.
We take, grain from Andrea. She cracks it open. We add hot water. The hot water activates enzymes. The enzymes, break down the starch into sugar. We take all the sugar we can. We boil it. We add hops to it at certain times for bitterness and all preservative qualities. Cool it down, add yeast, ferment it, and then within 2 weeks, it's in the glass.
One of the greatest things about growing the hops is after an incredibly difficult season, we've been up from 7 in the morning till midnight harvesting these things, but a month or 2 later, we go down to a place like the People's Pint in Greenfield and Northampton Brewery down in Northampton, and we sit down and open up a menu, and there's a beer made with not only 4 Star Farms hops, but 4 Star Farms barley, malted at Valley Malt. There's nothing that can beat just sitting down there in a restaurant and drinking a beer that was sold to you. So it's not only that somebody has made a product with your ingredients, but it's in commerce, and you're able to go to a local restaurant and buy that just as you would buy any other beer made in the area. It's a wonderful feeling.